stuck on my body and I can't put my arms down. After this, Jay, you're in charge of that camera because I can't.
I got you, buddy.
Located in Utah County, USA, the Nutty Putty cave system has always been associated with the tragic demise of a cave explorer when he was trapped in one of its narrow tunnels in 2009. Since news of this tragic incident broke out, many people became familiar with the name of this tunnel. However, not many were aware of its history since it was first explored. For decades prior to the tragic event, the cave system was a popular destination for many amateurs and professional cave explorers alike. Just how exactly was the man trapped in this tunnel in the first place? What went wrong during the rescue effort? This story covers the true story of a man who was trapped in this cave. Before we get to the identity of the cave explorer, let's delve into the history of the cave first. The Nutty Putty was explored in 1960 by Dale Green and friends. As of now, it is currently owned by the Utah School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration and managed by the Utah Timpanogos Grotto. The reason why the cave system got its name is because of the putty-like texture of the soft, brown clay found in many of its passages. The cave system was originally given a name Silly Putty by Green, but he later changed it to Nutty Putty, since the name itself sounded more fitting. In addition, the clay material found in the cave is largely composed of silicon dioxide, typically found in sand and also one of the most abundant materials found on Earth. All cave systems worldwide form in limestone, which is corroded over a long period of time due to a chemical reaction with the acidic water. Given that the Nutty Putty is also a limestone cave, instead of being dissolved by acidic water dripping from above the cave, it was created from the bottom up by hydrothermal activity when superheated water is forced upward into a bed of limestone, and minerals in the water eat away at the rock above to create cave shafts. Due to its unique history of formation, temperatures inside Nutty Putty always hover at 12.7 degrees Celsius year-round. During a 2003 study, researchers were able to map 413 meters of the cave to a depth of 44 meters from the surface. The story began on November 24th, 2009. Jones, who lived in Virginia and was in Utah for Thanksgiving, his brother and a group of 10 others visited Nutty Putty. It had been years since Jones went caving. He never had the chance to visit Nutty Putty before. He was considered an experienced caver, but ever since he had gotten married, had a child, and also a medical student at the University of Virginia, this made it impossible for Jones to find an opportunity to focus on his own hobby. During the Thanksgiving break, he returned home with his family and he started discussing his plan to explore Nutty Putty with his family. The group started exploring at about 8 p.m., making their way through the ditch to the big slide. Jones, his brother, and 2 friends then decided to look for the birth canal, one of the cave's narrowest spaces. Since he heard stories about the birth canal before, he checked the map to find its location. Birth canal is always known for its long and tight passages. If a caver was able to get through the narrowest section of birth canal, they would reach a larger room where they could easily stand up and turn around. When Jones reached a tunnel section known as the corkscrew, based on the accounts of previous cavers, the corkscrew is a small area and contains tight squeezes. Due to the small size of this particular section of this tunnel, cavers had to rely on all of their skills to navigate this panic-inducing section of the corkscrew. This area is well known to the public due to a previous incident back in 2004, involving a 16-year-old boy. He was much smaller in size than Josh. The boy got stuck in this area when he tried to turn around in the corkscrew passage. And thankfully, the rescuers were able to get him out of this area after 14 hours. After passing through corkscrew, he believed he had achieved something that most others couldn't. He did not, however, realized the new challenges that lay ahead. John knew he would not be able to turn at this point as the corridor straightened and broadened slightly, heading towards a cliff. To turn around, he needed to find an opening up ahead. This was where he had to exhale all air from his lungs and squeeze through. Unfortunately, after such a tight area, there was no opening, and he started falling through the 45-degree slope. John attempted using his hands to stop, but he was already worn out and exhausted, so he chose to continue moving forward until he could rest on something and consider his options. He told Josh not to follow him after he had stabilized because the tight passage would make things more difficult. After consulting with Josh, they decided that the best course of action was to continue until they found a space large enough to turn around. Although he was gravely exhausted, John started crawling forwards and noticed some sort of opening that gave him hope. The hole in front of him looked exactly like the opening at the end of the birth canal, where he would expect to see a large room to turn around. Once he started entering the area, he realized that there was no way forward, but his torso was already inside. Worse, he had been trapped right below his ribs by the curved tunnel. In a desperate attempt to free himself, he started to push himself up out of this crack, but his arms were useless because one was stuck beneath him and the other one was forced backward by an outcropping of rock. At this point, he started calling out to Josh for help. His younger brother attempted to free him, but he quickly realized that his brother was in trouble. Rescue teams arrived quickly and spent 27 hours attempting to extract him. The rescue operation was challenging due to the narrowness and angle of the passage, along with the risk of rock shifting. Rescuers tried various methods, including pulleys and ropes, to pull him out, and at one point, they managed to free him several inches, giving a glimmer of hope. However, due to the awkward angles and the confined space, the rescue equipment failed, and he slipped back into the crevice. Despite the heroic efforts of over 100 rescue personnel, Jones tragically passed away after being trapped for more than a day. A medical personnel was sent in to confirm his passing. After confirming Jones was deceased, rescuers concluded that any attempts to retrieve the body were too dangerous. The landowner and Jones's family came to an agreement that the cave would be permanently closed, with his body sealed inside as his final resting place. And to prevent any further exploration attempt, explosives were used to collapse the ceiling in the Ed's Push passageway of the cave close to Jones's body, and the entry points to the cave were permanently sealed by filling them with concrete. In addition, a plaque was placed at the entrance to commemorate the life of John Edward Jones. Thank you for watching. John's story is a heartbreaking reminder of the risks that come with exploring the unknown and the incredible bravery of rescue teams who dedicate themselves to helping those in need. Though Nutty Putty Cave is now closed, John's memory lives on in the caving community and in the hearts of those who knew him. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing for more stories like this one. We share these tales not only to honor those involved, but to promote awareness and safety for adventurers everywhere. Leave a comment to share your thoughts, and stay safe out there. Until next time, please take care.